Do you ever feel like you're just spending more and feeling worse? Me too. And that's why I committed to a low buy year. And it completely transformed my health, energy, and my finances. And here's how. I realized I didn't get to introduce myself, but hey there, it's Em here, and I am a health consultant at USC and recent grad, and I'm here to make your lifestyle healthier. So I started out my low buy year for a multitude of reasons, and one of the reasons was just burnout. I had so much crap in my house. I felt like I had way too many impulse purchases, and it just had me feeling overwhelmed. I was looking at all the stuff that was in my room, and I realized I was really only using 20-30% of it, and the rest of it was just collecting dust. And I felt like mentally and physically, there's just so many things. All of these cheaply made items too also were made with a lot of chemicals and textiles that weren't even healthy for me. And as a health consultant, I think that was when I realized I needed to change this aspect of my lifestyle before I could greatly improve the rest of my life. A little bit of a backstory. Back when I was in middle school, I was such an impulsive buyer. It was so bad. There's a mall that was 5 minutes away, not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes away walking from my old middle school. And so every weekend, that's just what my friends and I would do. We would walk over to the mall, we'd buy our Frappuccino mocha yayas, and then we would just buy so much stuff that we didn't even need. And honestly, every time I left the store or the mall, I just felt really guilty for some reason. I knew that I wasn't even gonna wear these things. I didn't even really like some of these things, to be honest, but I feel like some of the things, I just bought it to fit in. And I feel like that's the mentality, especially with social media. That's something that is still so prevalent to me and many other people who are in their 20s and 30s. It got so bad where I remember my mom used to give me $20 for snacks, and I don't know, I guess I thought I was a fashionista or something, but I would purposely starve and not get snacks even if I was hungry, just so I could save up to buy more clothes that honestly I didn't even really need that much. And it was just because it was on sale, and that blows my mind today. If you're watching this, Mom, I'm so sorry. Yes, not the wisest decision, but that's how it went down. So fast forward, I go to college and I go to grad school at USC, and I start living in an apartment with somebody. I'm sharing a really small flat apartment meant for one person with another person. And so it's tight. There's not a lot of space, and I realized there's just so much stuff that I really didn't need. And at that time, I think that's when a lot of the low buy year, a lot of the minimalism movement kind of came out, and I had never really heard of what a low buy year was, or what I guess sustainability is. And I found out that, I don't know, I guess I've just naturally been somewhat maybe sustainable in other aspects of my life because I come from an immigrant background. And then that's when I realized that I don't actually need stuff. And there is a whole community of people who are dedicated to just getting high quality stuff and using it for as long as you can, for decades. And I think that's awesome because realistically, especially as a post-grad and as somebody who has gone through a lot of schooling, I did not have a lot of money. And so the concept of being able to live a really fruitful and satisfying life, but not having to spend like $1 bajillion and keeping up with the Joneses and blah, I think that's so healthy. And that's something that I want to share with you all. So I wanted to Google what a low buy year is for those of you who have never heard of what it is before. But according to Google AI, a low buy year is a financial challenge where individuals consciously reduce their spending on non-essential items for a year, aiming to increase awareness of consumption patterns, break cycles of overspending, and potentially save money. And for me, honestly, it saved thousands, so I think this is very true. And the goal is to intentionally limit your spending while still allowing for your essential needs and some small indulgences here and there. For those of you who are already doing a low buy year, or for those of you who are interested, I wanted to share some tips that really worked for me so that you can also have a successful low buy year as well. And so some of the things that I stopped buying were a lot of supplements that I found out I really didn't need. Instead of buying all these new health and fitness fads and trends, I really just focused on having a whole foods diet and getting my nutrients naturally, because one, the absorption is actually better and you're getting a lot more of the nutrients, and a lot of things that you buy in supplements aren't really regulated. That's like a whole nother thing. But yeah, that's one thing that I did to save money. I focused on an actual nourishing natural diet, essentially whole foods on a budget. And then I also focused on the intake or my diet of digital media and other consumption besides just food. And so that means Instagram. And that's what I noticed when I spent way too much time on Instagram, that I was tempted to buy a lot of things or have a frivolous lifestyle when I realized I don't need all these like Gucci bags and blah, blah, blah. I think for me, for my current financial situation, it just doesn't really make sense for me to go out and spend thousands of dollars on clothes and shoes and things like that when I already have things that work for me perfectly fine. Like this shirt is 100% cotton and I got it for $5 at Costco, and I wear this all the time. I've worn this for at least like 4 days a week, honestly, for the past month or so. And I've just been rotating it and styling it in so many different ways because it's just one color. It doesn't have any particular pattern, so it's really easy. And so those kinds of items are items that I really think we should be investing our money on instead. Of course, I already started using a lot more of what I already had. I think a lot of the times we tend to buy things and forget about it, but I think if you really are intentional with understanding what's in your inventory, either in your pantry or what's in your wardrobe, like wardrobe staples, that can really go a long way. I've noticed also in terms of finding my own personal style that I tend to look better in plain or simple colors, something that's a little bit more elegant rather than all these different trend patterns. And I think that has been great because it's really helped me to declutter my wardrobe, which has been fantastic. I've also been able to just let go of some of the not so great items, some of the things that are pillaging a lot. You can give them to pet and animal shelters. They're always looking for different scraps that you can use or that they can use from your wardrobe that it maybe is too far gone. Besides just using what you already own, understanding the concept of either buying it nice or buying it twice is something that's really helped me. Like before, I used to buy all the like $5 shirts from H&M just because it was on sale and then not really wear it. And that was super wasteful and it wasted a lot of my time and money. I think it's so much more worth your time and money, and it also saves you time from just like trying to return things and saving an extra trip to the mall where you might accidentally find something you like and buying more things. Can you tell I was a shopaholic? I think it's really important to buy nice, have something that's higher quality, something that's a basic staple that you know wear a lot of the time, maybe throughout multiple seasons if your weather isn't too extreme, or something that you can even layer, rather than just buying a bunch of fad, trendy clothes or you can only wear it for one niche special occasion. Because let's be honest, even if that one niche special occasion comes, you might want even to wear something else. You might not even want to wear that dress. Now let's move on to the results that I saw as a result of finishing the low buy year. Why I didn't finish the low buy year. Sorry. Now let's look at the results that I experienced after doing this for about 6 months. So I finished half of the low buy year. Woohoo! I found a lot more clarity and peace from just having less clutter in my room. I found that it was a lot easier also just to clean my room, clean my spaces. As someone who was a recent grad from grad school at Keck School of Medicine for my Master of Public Health, I didn't have that much time. Like, I was so busy cooking for myself and for my family. I was busy taking care of my grandparents. I was doing a lot of patient work with my clients, and I was also studying because I was in school. And when you have like clothes in the corner of your room where you just have so many different like pens you're not even using and you're only really using like 2 that you actually like, it can just get so mentally overwhelming, especially considering that you have probably a bajillion other things on your plate. Let's be honest, we're all really busy people. And so just the piece of not seeing visually all these different things has mentally helped me kind of detox my own mind. And that has been such a gift, like a gift that I didn't even think would be such a huge benefit, but has definitely benefited me. Having minimalism and wanting to be resourceful and using things around you has actually saved me a lot of money. 1, because I'm not buying so much useless crap all the time, and 2, because I'm actually making better use. I'm really stretching what it is that I have in my house already, like pantry ingredients. I'm being more diligent with the produce that I'm buying and whether it goes bad or not. I'm getting more creative in the kitchen. I have found so many different new recipes that I've just created that have tasted good, that were cheap, but super nutritious for my family and I'm able to share with my patients too, because I've constantly started to think more about how I can, use things that I already have. And that's super cool because in this economy, we need more of that. I would also say that my skin it's not perfect, but this is pretty good, especially for someone who is post-grad student or who went through pretty intensive grad school. I'm glowing. And that is because I didn't have to spend so much time dealing with my own crap, physical, that I had in my house. I was able to clean my room in under 5 minutes, which I feel like if you can't do that, you might want to reevaluate all of your clutter. And I was able to eat healthier because of the things that I mentioned earlier. And I don't know, I just feel like being financially well, especially as somebody who had an immigrant parent and who lives with a grandma and a mom that came from Korea that didn't really have much growing up. I feel like for me, I have kind of an interesting relationship with finances, but this has definitely helped me heal a lot of that. You can have so much freedom when you're not so tied to your materialistic possessions. And there's nothing wrong with wanting nice things. There's nothing wrong with being rich or wealthy or having these different resources. But I think the reality is the majority of us don't have that, but we're spending and acting like we do. And I think that's something that I want to see us heal from as a whole. I want to help my friends. I want to help you, because you are now my friend now that you've watched this. Help you to grow a better lifestyle and to live in a way that has purpose, freedom, peace, and wellness. I'm going to be doing a lot of different YouTube videos on health, on wellness, on different tips on minimalism and how to manage your finances in a way that is balanced. That's it for this video. So if you want to stay tuned and you want to build a healthier, wealthier life, follow me on Instagram. My handle is thatgirlinla with underscores in between each word. And also to subscribe. I don't know where the subscribe button is. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!